Welcome back to Thoughts of War. My name is Bart, and this is part of my video series that I'm doing on early Christianity and nonviolence. So today I'm going to cover Lactantius, and he is he is the last early Christian writer that we have that's before the Council of Nicaea. And so my next video we'll start talking about Constantine, then we'll go on the Council of Nicaea. But for this video we're going to discuss Lactantius just directly. And so he wrote the Divine Institutes during the persecution of Diocletian. Well, he at least began writing it during that time. He might have modified it a little bit after. Now, he in the beginning of the Divine Institutes, he says, "We undertake, therefore, to discuss religion and divine things." So it's a pretty hefty volume, but I'm only going to cover one little section of it. Just a little another note about him: he was a tutor of Constantine's son, Crispus. And this is from the Divine Institutes, Book 5. That just tells you how big this work is if you've got, several different books, and we're already on chapter 20. But as I mentioned, a lot of these early church writings, those chapters, they're more like paragraphs almost. But it says, "For they are aware that there is nothing among men more excellent than religion, and that this ought to be defended with the whole of our power. But as they are deceived in the matter of religion itself, so are they in the manner of its defense." So about the pagans, they understand that religion is important. And so it's the same thing with those who follow Christ. We understand that religion is important, that there's something about that there being a supernatural power out there, and we have to learn who the supernatural power is, and in a sense, how do we get on the good side with that supernatural power? And so for the pagans, it meant, sacrificing animals in the local temple, maybe sleeping with temple prostitutes, maybe doing other crazy things just to try to please that particular god. And for a pagan, they may have multiple gods. So they may have to sacrifice to different gods for their different things that they wish to accomplish. So with Christianity, we believe in just that there's one God who's created all things. And we have a broken relationship with him because of our sin. So for us, we want to know, how can we get back into relationship with the Creator? And so that's why Jesus is that bridge. Jesus is how we can get back to having a relationship with the Creator. There's no other way. Jesus is the bridge to God. He's the only way to God. And so for us, following Christ is really important. And so if it keeps going, he says, "For religion is to be defended." Now this shows how we are followers of Christ. It's to be defended not by putting to death, but by dying. Not by cruelty, but by patient endurance. Not by guilt, but by good faith. For the former belongs to evils, and the latter to the goods. And it is necessary for that which is good to have place in religion, and not that which is evil. So Lactantius is saying, religion should cause things to be good, should make things good. And he kind of goes against what our logic is, even our logic today in this world. Our logic is, if we're going to make our God happy, we're going to have to make sure his side wins. And the way his side wins is, it's a numbers game. You try to kill as many of those who are against him. And so that way you can promote your religion, and your religion can dominate other religions. So if you invade a country, you take over their king, you take over their government, and you say, all right, you're no longer going to be this particular religion. I've brought in my own religion. And if you can force everybody to be that particular religion, then your God has won because your army has won. And so Lactantius is saying it doesn't work like that for Christianity. For Christianity, we cannot go and kill our enemies and expect that God is going to be pleased with that. And if you look at the very bottom, it says, "For if you wish to defend religion by bloodshed and by tortures and by guilt, it will no longer be defended, but will be polluted and profaned." So notice this is saying that I cannot defend Christianity by killing others. I cannot defend Christianity by torturing others. If someone chooses not to follow Christ, I cannot put him in jail or take him to some type of torture device. And when he says, "Oh, I'm a follower of Christ," let him go and think that, oh well, now he's in a right relationship with God. It doesn't work that way. Matter of fact, Lactantius is clear that if I try to do this with my religion, then I've actually polluted and profaned my religion. So a religion that has to be defended with bloodshed, it ends up polluting the religion itself. And so that's why it works a little bit different. So you can see Lactantius is really saying the same thing that these early church fathers have said. When I've talked about Justin Martyr, Irenaeus, Tertullian, Origen, they've all pretty much said the same thing. That's why the teachings that went forth from Jerusalem, that's the teachings of Jesus Christ, that we are to love our enemies and we're supposed to turn our swords into plowshares. That's why that teaching is so important, because that's actually what changes people's lives. People actually see a Christian dying, and they see how they die, and others come to faith in their martyrdom. So just a little summary there is religion is to be defended by dying, not by killing. This doesn't make sense. You don't think, how can I win this war? Well, I'll go and die. Well, it doesn't make sense according to this world, but we have to have faith in God that He's got a plan, that He's got a practice. So if it says patient endurance, not by cruelty, good faith, not by guilt. And so, just again, religion defended by bloodshed is polluted and profaned. Now this quote is going to come back and haunt Christianity, because we'll see it won't be that much longer into the future that we're going to see Christianity start having to use bloodshed and tortures to defend itself from heretical beliefs. And so Lactantius, I've put him here on our map so you can kind of see. This is before Constantine. Pretty much all Christians agree that Christians are to lay down their swords into plowshares, that we're not to defend a religion by killing, that we are to defend a religion by dying. And so come back, and so we're going to cover just a little bit of a history with Constantine, and then we're going to go into the First Council of Nicaea.